Just a couple years ago, there would be customers that fill this aisle searching for their brand new TV. But when streaming services like Hulu and Netflix came along, more millennials turned to their laptops instead. Going to the gym can be boring and lonely to say the least, but a new fitness craze is aiming to get you off the machine and on your feet. Most people with darker skin tones believe they don't need to wear sunscreen, but studies show the sun does not discriminate. Some Rochelle residents traveling to their home on this particular road are in for a bumpy ride. So bumpy that residents like Chip Harris have to take an entire different route to get around.
That portion is still better than the rattle trap that the other side has.
That so-called rattle trap is County Road 2082. As you can see, the size of these potholes are about twice as big as your car tire. Imagine the type of damage that could cause to your car. But members of the Alachua Conservation Trust say there's more hazard that come with the road than just car damage.
The road is very vulnerable to being flooded and to being washed out by heavy rain. And one of the reasons it's in such bad shape is it gets washed out by floods. So trying to maintain a road under those conditions is extremely expensive.
And with the proximity of the trees to the pavement, it seems like it's always going to be a problem.
Those potential damages are part of the reason the county is considering closing the road down for good.
I think closing the road is a short-sighted measure. I don't think, I don't think the county's heart is in it to maintain a road that's this far out of town.
Other options include chip sealing the road, which would cost an estimated $65,000 and would have to be done again in 10 years.
I would like to see someone actually pave the road, not chipset it, not do what I would call a half way of doing things.
If the road is closed, the county plans on restoring the area by laying grass in place of the road.
It'll never get back to its natural state unless they excavate several feet down to get rid of all the debris that's there. And then you've got what? You've got a curved grassy plain. What's the point?
While I did attend that meeting last night, today I hit the streets to hear from people personally affected. That includes some who weren't able to make it out.
I live paycheck to paycheck.
Takara lives in what is classified as affordable housing in the southwest area of Gainesville.
I don't never have any extra money or anything like that, after the bills and after the kids are taken care of.
That's the issue at hand. Affordable housing is defined as 30% of someone's income. But Takara is paying more than that, creating a cost burden. A burden others say they're struggling to meet as well.
Certain developments are happening that are being marketed as affordable housing, and yet they're not.
That was a topic at last night's city engagement meeting.
We're a commission that listens to our community. We've done that for every issue I can think of, and for this one in particular, we're just excited to get back on track.
Although it was a full house, a main focus was on those who were not in the room, like Takara, who says she never even knew about the meeting and wishes someone had reached out to her.
By mail, broadcasting it, the way that they do everything else.
Takara had her own suggestions on what they could do.
I feel like some of the money, the taxpayers' money that they're using towards certain things, it can be used towards the housing situation.
Suggestions like hers, commissioners want to hear.
The vision is to come up with a comprehensive, community-crafted policy that's going to address a lot of these issues.
I've lived in this part of town for a long time now, for more than 10 years.
Megan Oxley lives in a quiet and calm area about 5 minutes away from the Cabot Copper site on Northwest 23rd Avenue. But that piece could change in the near future.
I share the concern about Gainesville becoming too suburbanized.
Neighbors like Oxley say their concerns are growing as they face new development. That includes discussions of a new sports complex.
I strongly feel that no resident should have to sell their property or move if they don't want to for any concrete megalopolis center on 6th Street, which is a congested mess anyway.
Another issue at hand, the site's history includes years of cleanup from hazardous waste.
When I first moved here, there was a lot of issues about whether it was safe.
Waste that neighbors worried spilled into their backyards.
As far as the data that we have currently, the contamination for this particular site is confined to that area.
But after following up with nearby business owners and confirming with Omos, those wastes did indeed spread to nearby areas back in 2014. Since then, Alachua County has put in place a remediation plan to clean it up and is now getting community suggestions on future development.
I don't mind an activity center, especially because it would, be something available to people in our community that don't have access a lot of times to, these events and activities.
But for Oxley, that's only under one condition.
I like the feeling of town, and I'd like to keep that,